Resilience Radio.
Oceanside's most wanted evening show every Thursday, 4:30 p.m. on the Pacific Coast.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Larry with Resilience Radio, and I'm with Jamie Foxx.
We was having a conversation.
And our guest on the show,
We'll get back
Brother
to that.
Derek.
Yes.
Derek X.
Yes. No, Derek X. N-word.
Oh, Derek N-word.
N-word, like inside out. See? N-word.
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 I heard something different.
From the 18. From the 18.
Derek N-word.
All right. Now before we were so rudely interrupted, we were talking about your crazy morning.
Yeah, so my morning started out kind of crazy because I live by myself, but I always get somebody else's mail, and it's a cat named Bill, So every time I look up, Bill. So then I realized,
That's at everybody.
I realized that.
I'll be getting bills.
So I was looking at the circumstances, and when you look at the circumstances, you kind of get, so I had to reshift my attention on what's really going on. So,
All right.
so I went on and worked it out.
Right
I went on and worked it out. Went to the gym and worked it out. Got back right. So I'm
The
good.
gym be helping.
Sometimes.
Yeah. At least for that momentary.
Yeah.
Gym don't help me.
Do you
It
go?
don't. Well,
Why I stopped going?
you can't take donuts to the gym.
I don't take
You
donuts.
can't go to the
Well,
gym
you can't
and
go.
sit in the break room.
Okay. My bad. You can't go to eat donuts after the gym.
Or you be
You
eating
got
donuts.
you got to subtract one of them.
Or you can't just go to the gym to take a
I
picture
don't
and
eat
then
donuts.
leave.
Okay, well.
You don't. You're right.
Okay, well, what do you eat?
Starbucks.
Okay, that's
I drink Starbucks.
Nah, you eat Starbucks. Starbucks breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. How's your day going, Larry?
You don't need to know about my day. We want to know about Brother Derek N-word.
I just told you about my day.
Oh, okay.
I'm here seeing my brother and meeting good people.
Well, then
My day is okay.
Tell us, man. Don't look. Check this out, man. We gonna talk. We about to get in your business. That's why we brought
In
you
the
in.
business.
Get up in there.
But I'm trying to find out about who is this dude N-word.
N-word.
We have to enunciate N-word, like internal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's N-W-A-R-D, like N-word, like inside
Okay,
out.
I'm
okay.
sorry, but
That's
the
its
way
nickname.
because I'm country, I just pronounce it the N-word.
Country.
N-word. That's what you say.
Okay.
N-word.
Okay.
You notice my hat is inside out. That's what
Ah,
That's what I did.
okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Because we inside out. That's your true person, inside out.
This is very true.
Who said that's true?
I said
She
that's
said
true.
it's true.
Don't
So-
start with me. This show is not about you today. This is
So
about
who
our.
you is on the outside is not the real you?
No, it
I
is.
was about to say,
It's
because
not-
then that's the case, then you ain't been keeping it real.
What
You
was
ain't been
that?
keeping it real.
Is that your signature? I feel like that was your signature.
You ain't
voice
keeping it
right
real. You know what I'm saying?
Is you keeping it real?
Man, who is you, man? Who are you?
My name is.
we
What you
know
want to
your
know?
name.
What you-
Your
okay,
name's
so
Derek, man.
my
We
name
get
is
that, but
my
who-
name is Derek Lewis. I was born in Los Angeles, California. Grew up in Oxnard, California.
Was Skeet?
Yes. You remember Skeet, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Y'all was on the same yard. See, he had me jumping the gun. So me and him met on the other side of the fence.
Oh, okay.
So
How long ago was that?
How long ago was that? When did you leave us? 2003? No, 2005.
2011.
Really?
You left first, didn't you?
You mean got out in 2011?
No. I was there when you came home. Yeah.
You were still there?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, I
Yeah.
left in 2011.
Because I didn't leave from there and went to
When did you
California City. I got there it's about 2003, 2004.
Yeah, I got there.
No. Maybe 2005 I got there.
I got there about a year before you.
Yeah.
I
So
met you around
And that was the first time y'all ever met?
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And when-
2005.
About 2005. Yeah.
So that's a
So-
good minute ago.
That was a long time ago.
And y'all been cool ever since?
Yeah, it's since.
Ever since.
Ever had a falling
Hit it
out?
off?
Yeah.
We had our differences. We had our differences. We had our differences.
It wasn't no violent.
No, there's disagreements. It's like all brothers get into. You know, you have your disagreements. You know, but that makes the relationship stronger because we able to be real. You know,
Right.
but
Talk it out, communicate.
or not talk sometimes.
I was gonna. Well,
And then
kinda.
you realize, you know, I love that brother. You know,
Right.
you know.
He was
Yeah.
he was the first black man in the pen. California Correctional Department of Rehabilitation.
Ever in life.
The first black man that when he ever had a problem with another black man, he ran and grabbed a whiteboard.
Is this true? Is this the truth? Is this the truth? Okay,
First
because
time
wait.
it ever happened to me was him.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Oh, Pastor Ron or something?
No, man.
Who?
What's the other dude name? Your
Who was
boy,
on our
man.
yard?
He was on your yard.
Oh, you talking about Gator?
Ooh, I don't know no gator.
Who the heck is that? Oh, Mike, little short Mike.
No,
Who?
no, he was another one that worked clerk in the chapel.
Do I need to hear this story? Is this
Okay,
the story
so
we
you
need to talk
gotta
about?
refresh
Yeah.
my memory. You know.
I feel like
Yeah,
this is a
because
story
he
we
came,
need to hear.
he came to me with a biblical question, and I beat him upside the head with that.
No,
biblical
you didn't. I remember what the question was.
What was it?
About can we lose our salvation?
Yeah.
I remember that.
So I read some
and I wanted
passages behind him to him. I just read some passages to him. And so he said, I like to discuss that. All
Right,
right,
right.
So when he came to discuss it with me, he brought this theologian with him and said he gonna come
that
with
was
me.
a big word.
No, that was Gator. That was Gator.
I don't know who
That was him. Yeah, Roland.
Rolling.
That's
that.
him.
Time out,
Yeah.
back up. What's a theologian?
Gator.
What,
Yeah,
I don't know
Roland,
him.
yeah.
Who is?
Yeah,
What
that
does
was-
that mean?
But
Like a
theologian?
theologist?
yeah, he's
Okay.
somebody, you know. But you know what? I was very immature back then. You know, I was learning some stuff. And
And this
you
is
know,
in 2005. you know
yeah,
that.
I had just got saved in 2003. So you know, but one thing is, you know, I was sure what I was talking about, but you know, I couldn't back it up biblically, like, you know, like this brother that had a gift, you know what I mean? And you know, so at that time, you know, so I think I went to go get my big brother.
He went to get a white boy.
It don't
to
matter
perform
what
a
color
black-
Why does it gotta be white or black?
Because
Or
we was in the
brown?
pen.
Oh, well, yeah.
You don't do that in
You're right,
prison,
you're
man.
right, okay.
Come on, man.
Okay.
He could have got both of us stabbed.
But we was in the chapel. Who gonna stab us in the chapel, huh?
I'm just-
They had to get
So let
past
me
me.
ask you a
You
question.
saw them, yeah, well, you saw them Bulldogs do that thing right out in front of the chapel.
But they didn't come up in there.
So I got a question. I really am curious about this because I haven't been to the pen. I've been to the county. That's it. So all I know is from the movies and from people that I interact with.
Movies ain't
So
nothing like it.
that's what
No.
I figured. But the chapel. So what I would think that the chapel area, what I have seen and read about is like that's like people have the mutual respect for that. Is that true? Is that accurate? So like any minorities could be in there, any group of people, but it's kind of like a sacred space, or do people? It's up to the
Depends.
person.
You know what?
It depends. First of all, it depends on the facility that you're in.
Okay.
CMC, where we was a low-level custody. Everybody, I don't know when he came in. He was a lifer, right?
Yeah, I was a
So
lifer.
he came in off the level 4 yard.
Mm-hmm.
I went into a level 4 yard. I had 54 points. Now 52 points, you're supposed to be level 4.
Right.
And I came in at 54 points, but I went in on a lockdown. So it
Like
said
when
no.
the prison was on a lockdown?
It was on lockdown for a riot that happened. So I went in to a level 4, but when I submitted my marriage certificate, my points dropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you get little perks and stuff when you know.
Right.
And so when
They
they
think
found
you
out I was
civilized.
married, they brought my points down. Then I went to the level 3 yard. Level 3 yard is, it's active. It's just not as locked down as a level 4.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
level
what's
4
the highest
material.
level?
Level 4 is the highest. Okay,
Level
so
4 is the highest.
so the
Okay.
difference. Okay, so the difference between the level 4s and the other levels. Level 4s, you got guys who was. It's probably different now, but back then you had guys who've been down 30 years, whatever, right? So it's like a chess game. So it's not it's violent, but before it goes there, you know, it's talked about.
There's politics and
yeah.
all that. Okay.
So on level 3, you got like youngsters trying to prove themselves.
Just getting in.
and- Yeah, so it could, you know, so it's like you could get into it on a level 3 over anything. Over on level 4, it might get squashed because
Okay,
cats
that
know
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, if you go there, everybody gonna go there.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So it's
Pick your
different.
battles.
So the answer cannot. Let me go ahead.
So from a level 3, you go to a level 2 yard when your
Right.
points continue to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Level 2 is more like like a low. It's a very low custody where people that's been, you know, your crime ain't that much, ain't that bad.
Right.
Like DUIs or
Well, no, I mean,
well, you know, I mean,
some
the
people
fourth,
in there,
like the
yeah,
fourth
like
DUI
that.
that you got to
Yeah.
go to prison and do some time, but it's
Right.
not okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. You see a lot of cats go on there on that, and or people who just been down for a while who ain't been getting in trouble. Points is dropping. You know, they programming it correctly and they drop their points. And
Right.
so that's where I met him at. Obviously, he's come in as a lifer and points drop. He's programming. And
Well, actually, what happened with me is I was a lifer, and then I got a retrial, and that's part of my testimony.
Gotcha.
You know, and I went back, and so I ended up taking a deal, which I had the life off, but I
At
still
the
had some
retrial?
time. Yes. It
that's
was-
when you met the Lord. Huh?
That's absolutely. That's
you was
yeah.
cold.
Shoot, I
When you
bet.
didn't know nothing about it. It came out you
I didn't know. Hey, if you ask me honestly, you know, with all respect to the Lord, I thought I was God. I thought I was. I say, you know, this the white man's God. I didn't know. You know, I didn't
Right.
know. You know, I didn't have a clue. So of course, when you get in trouble, you get scared. And you know you want
You
some
pray.
help. You
Yeah.
want, like my mama always used to say, you ain't crying because you sorry. You know, you get whooped
Crying
and you
'cause
say
you
I'm
got
sorry.
trouble.
Sorry, you crying because you got
got
caught.
caught.
Absolutely, and that goes to say. But I wanted to answer something before we go on. Now you said that about the respect thing. I believe that it's true about the prisons, but it's also about what kind of walk the body is, because the fear of the Lord, you know, everybody's not, you know, but it's something that's power when it's true, you know, when it's true fellowship.
Spirituality,
Yeah.
yeah.
So because an example, you remember on level on that yard, remember the break room? Did you guys have the break room? Okay, so when I was there, we still had it. I spoke to a brother not too long ago, and who was incarcerated still on that same yard. And I said, hey, no, actually he got out. I met a brother, you know, out here. I said, hey, you was on A yard, now it's A yard. You know, they switched it. But I said, you was on that yard? He said, yeah. I said, do the Christian brothers still meet? He said, nah, they used to, but you know, it like got broke up because, you know, everything started. And when I was there, that's what we was going through. It was like politics they was trying to push in, because everybody always had the respect for that area.
What do you mean? Who was pushing?
The Southsiders,
Pushing what?
they was trying to push because
The
of them.
Southsiders that was attending
okay,
the yard ministries.
Yes, but what happened was, I don't know if you heard about that. All the shot callers who was on, you know, in the holes, but they was starting to push lines. They was trying to get out, so they was pushing lines to the main line, you know, to have a food strike or whatever. Don't nobody go to the cafeteria.
Right.
Right? So, you know, everybody, they were doing, all they people was participating. We was like, they ain't got nothing to do with us, you know?
Right.
So they were, a couple of them guys was having meetings to see if, you know, one time I come from work and the Spanish brothers is over there having a meeting. So, you know, go over there and, you know, go try to find out what's going on. And they're having a meeting about this, and I'm like, that's a no-brainer. What are you guys doing? So they decided to just go to the child hall and just throw their food away, you know, like lightweight participate. And then we had you remember we used to have the big feast at the,
Right.
okay, so that went on, and so then the brothers were saying that they was, well, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make the food and we gonna bring it to you guys in your dorm. We all eating, so stuff like that. So when they started seeing stuff like that, you just start seeing it like the walls start to wiggle, and and then other cats start moving in on things like that. So like when we was all there, we had pretty good unity. I know our yard did. You remember with Brother Don and all. We had really good unity, and that's saying something. When you can't control everything, but it's power. When it's true unity, it's power. So
Yeah.
that's what I believe.
Yeah, but Southside is run by a different code.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you look at it, we as blacks in prison system, that especially on the level 2 yard, who politicking?
Mm-hmm.
Who pushing the line on us?
Right.
You know? But when you Mexican,
Right.
that's another dynamic.
Yeah, that's true.
That is totally different.
And whites, some degree, yeah.
But at CMC, whites wasn't
Right.
really talking
Right.
about nothing. But when you got them Southsiders pushing the line, what do?
Yeah.
As a Christian,
Yeah.
and as a Hispanic Christian on the level 2 yard, and you just you ain't got no problems, you ain't trying to be involved,
Right.
but then you start getting pushed up on,
Right.
and you got 3 months to go home, 4 or
Right.
5 months
Right.
to go home, and they come to you with this. We owe it to them brothers to understand.
Absolutely.
Not to hey man, stand up and just you can. If you got a Hispanic that's gonna stand up to the cause, my question is you blacks gonna do it with them?
So that's a good thing, because like one of the young brothers, we had a couple of young brothers on the yard, and so what we started doing was we just walking the yard with them. Just let them know, these are our little brothers.
Right.
If you gonna mess with them, you gonna mess with us.
Right.
So we couldn't save everybody, but we was willing to go there. Like
Right.
we got you. Just let them know we got you.
Politics are so wild.
Oh, yeah.
The politics. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much about it, but Corey explains that my fiance is incarcerated, and he tries to explain as much as he can, and it's just crazy to me. And it's a little different because he's in Arizona, but the dynamic seem the same, and it's wild to me. And it's unfortunate because what I realize is he does his time well. Stays out of trouble, does his job, what he's supposed to do. But it's just like, if it really comes down to it, he has to do what he has to do. At least that's what he feels like sometimes.
Right.
And luckily it hasn't come down to that. But just him explaining that to me, I just have this it's like this compassion for he's just trying to do his time and get out, come home and do what he needs to do. And he was telling me that he had a homeboy who had a little over a month, maybe 45 days. So he was about to go home, about to get transferred over to Florence, where they do, you go there 30, 40 days before you're about to get out. And something went down, and basically he was put in a predicament where he had to be involved because he owed somebody a favor, and ended up getting 5 extra years. So about to go home in 45 days, got put in this position where it seemed like it was intentional. And then had to be in there another 5 years, and it's just like, dang, I can't say.
Who did that?
One of Corey's homeboys.
But he got involved.
No, he wasn't involved.
Okay.
He was just telling
Okay.
me about this. He stays out the way. He's luckily he's got he's the staff barber, so he's got
Right.
a real good job. Does his classes, does what he's supposed to do. But just hearing that was just, and this was a young dude. He was only in there for 3 years initially, ended up whatever happened and had to go down, got another 5 years. And it's just like 45, been getting ready to go home. And it's just like, I know that's not the only situation that's like that. So it's just like the politics to me are it's just wild how the system is set up. And it's unfortunate. It's not meant to be successful, that's for sure, which we already know, especially even just working with these kids. It's not even meant to rehabilitate, and it's just so unfortunate. You have to choose rehabilitation.
Also, it's how you carry yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta rehabilitate yourself.
Right. If you all up in there and you all hanging out with them dudes,
Right.
Doing the most, yeah.
involved with that, expect you're gonna be tested on that. But if you for the most part, I don't care if you black, white, Hispanic, If you in there and you showing yourself, look, I'm in this library,
Right.
I'm fighting my
Right,
case,
right.
I'm going to college, and I'm just staying out the way of this nonsense for the most part.
People respect
Nobody
it.
messing with you. They
Yeah,
ain't messing with
because
that.
that's what happened with me. It's like, you know, I was far from a Christian and whatever my first 10 years. And matter of fact, I was, you know,
And I'm sorry, how long did you do?
I did 21 years
Straight?
straight.
Man, you said that like it was nothing.
Right, like, that's just
It-
okay.
Don't act like that was nothing.
Man.
You supposed to be like 21 years.
Oh, that was a Rob. You look like Rob
Okay,
right
now if
there.
you would have asked me that when I was in there, I would have been like, man, I did 21 years. But, you know, now.
Wow.
Man,
So, okay, so check this out. So, I used to, you know, try to go get my buff on.
Hold on. Well, how old were you when you went?
I had just turned 25.
Just turned 25.
Yeah,
You got
today.
out, you was
I got out in 2016, so I was what?
Wow.
I'm 49 right now, so what was that, 46?
Still sitting here with a smile on his
21
face.
years
and
old to
That's
46-year-old
Yeah,
in prison.
yeah,
Some of the most important times of your life.
yes, sir.
You missed that.
I missed it.
When you came home,
Yeah.
how do you get your life together at 46 when you never had a chance to be 21 to 45 here?
So, you know, my answer to that is just, you know, when I was out, I was pretty much dead. I was this, you know.
right.
It's like a dog gets up. A dog gets up with no purpose, no direction, goes out, chase trees, piss on lines, bark at people. That's kind of how I was living, you know what I
You
mean?
was
So,
existing.
yeah, I was, you know, I didn't have a clue who I was, you know. That's why I had a moniker. They used to call me Nutty.
What you was in for?
I was in for a murder, a gang-related murder. So,
Gang
you know,
banging from where?
gang
Oxnard,
banging,
what?
yeah, Oxnard. I grew up in the 50s in Los Angeles, Bidus, Hoover Hood, and all my family from there. I moved to Oxnard and
Switched hoods to D
well, I never was from Hoover. That was just I ain't know I wasn't no transformer, brother. Nah, that was just like family stuff. This
Right,
like
right.
you know it was you know with this. But yeah, so my gang started. We was just homies. We was just friends. We was a bunch of confused kids. We was a bunch of confused kids
Right.
who didn't have any. Were looking for acceptance. That's what the A stands for, acceptance. So
So you got A-team on there. What,
18.
What is A-team?
18 means accepted. This means teaching, equipping, acquainting, movement.
That's your brand?
Yes, that's
That's
what I'm trying to get it going.
That's
you know,
dope.
18, because everybody looking for
And that's a
acceptance.
cross, yeah?
Yes, sir. That's
That's-
where it started.
that's
That's where your acceptance comes from.
Yep. That's the
No matter what. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I was in there for, man. So I remember, I adjusted to the system. I started selling pot. I started, you know, first I was scared as I don't know what, man. I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So, you know, when I adjusted and everything, I remember there was this guy on the yard who was a legal beagle. You remember them legal beagles?
Right, right.
So I heard about this guy. He was good.
They some.
They sharp. You
They
see that? You see that?
Hey, I'm
dude?
watching
that?
For Life.
Oh, that's what I was gonna tell
I'm
you.
addicted.
Okay,
I'm
so that-
addicted.
I ain't talking
No,
about.
this-
I ain't
no,
talking
he's-
about just people
they
who
sharp.
just started and
No,
fighting
no,
their
no.
case.
Nah, he a
They
lawyer.
grind.
lawyer.
Yeah,
No,
these, I'm talking about these
Yeah.
self-made lawyers
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that
so
just being that all they do is
That's-
sit in the
that's right.
library and just study, read. They know.
Have you
So-
Have you seen
that's
the
what I
Watch
was,
For Life?
bro.
Did
Okay.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah,
It's
he
good.
just motivated me, his story. The brother that's motivated.
It's
So
dope.
anyway, so with me, you know, so I hired this guy to
Right.
word it. So I said, you know, this brother had the dreadlocks and everything, and he used to be one of my customers, right?
Right.
So I said, hey, that's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna move you to my cell. I need to hire you. I checked him out for a while. And moved him to my cell. I said, check this out. This is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna sell you. I can't pay you, but I can pay you in pot or whatever. And you're like,
Right.
cool.
You know, yeah, you're like, cool. I say, okay, so look, while we in here, you know, whatever we use, that ain't, you know, I'm gonna give you yours anyway. Make a long story short. So he goes, so every day I was going out, hanging out with my homeboys and everything. He was in the law library. So he came back and he said, what you do all day? So what you mean what I do all day? You know, hung out with the homies and everything. He said, I used to get in the law library. I said, and he was like, man, check this out, youngster. You paying me, I could put anything down. This is your life. Don't nobody know your case but you.
Right.
He said, this is what we gonna do, because I like you. He said, I want to see you in that law library. He said, and every day I want you to come home and I want you to tell me something that you found that relates to your case. So I started doing it, coming home and everything. And so then he says, what does it mean? What does it mean? How does it relate to your case? And I couldn't, you know, he said, no, we're going to do it right, you know. So anyway, I started doing that. And I started doing that. You know, I had a crime. I had a co-defendant. Crime is co-defendant. And you didn't know this about me. So, anyway, when I left from, where was we at? What was I with? I think I was in, I was in Pleasant Valley with this brother. And, no, I'm sorry. I was in Old Corker with this brother. And I went to Pleasant Valley. And me and my crimey met up. So I was going to the law library all the time and everything. So he had a lawyer. You remember that movie Life, right? It's kind of, he had a lawyer, but his lawyer beat him 2 or 3 times. So the issue that I found is what got me out, thank God, you know. So anyway, I was granted a retrial. So that's what got both of us out. So anyway, he ended up coming to CMC too. My crimey ended up coming to CMC. So you remember when I'm over the usher team and everything, we involved in the yard ministry and everything. I moved my crimey over there with me. He was my bunkie, but he was into everything he was into. He was still, you know, the phones and everything. And at the time I was dealing with something, me and God was dealing with something, you know, I was some hidden stuff that I was, you know, I was kind of lightweight using the phone and everything. God is not mocked, you know that. So one day, it was fog recall. So when fog recall, there ain't no movement. So when the fog lifted up, we was having an usher meeting. So I thought. So I was trying to get to the chapel, and I looked and I noticed that my crimey was talking to a Mexican dude. But it looked like it was kind of heated, you know. So then I started seeing blacks and, you know, Mexicans. So now I'm okay, what's going on? So when I turned back around, the Mexican dude took off on him, dropped him. So I tried to run over there, you know, it's my boy, you know, I tried to run over there to help him. They said I was pretty big. They sent like 3 of them at me. Until the first one, nah, chill. He kept coming. Fired him, dropped him. I still had my little Bible in my hand. The other one hit me in the back. You know, I had to do what I do. I ended up going in the hole, bro, for 90 days. 90 days. And I was like, Lord, what's going on? I knew about, you know, like I said.
On your way to the chapel.
Yeah, ain't that something? God said, you ain't coming to the chapel with all that mess. Not near. You're right.
Sat you down.
So anyway, yeah, so I got to the hole. It was his brother who was next to me in the hole. This is how God worked. He's solid. There's a brother who that backslid. He started back running with the Southerners. He was my neighbor. So it's a coincidence, I was right next to him. So we was fellowshipping. And then, I mean, it was crazy, but it was beautiful. That time in the hole.
Oh, in the hole y'all was,
my God.
oh, okay.
It was beautiful because, you know, I grew so much in the Lord and being without. See, up in CMC, bro, you remember we had the library, we had the chapel every day. You ain't got none of that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Oceanside's most wanted evening show every Thursday, 4:30 p.m. on the Pacific Coast.